They speak of justice as if it were air, invisible, essential, owed to all. But justice is not air. It is a mask worn by those without teeth, demanded by those without power. The weak cry for fairness not because they love the just, but because they fear the consequences of raw design. Fairness is the fiction whispered by the powerless in the hope that the lion might forget his hunger. The strong, however, do not beg for fairness. They engineer its illusion. They define its terms, draw its borders, shape its face. For the powerful, fairness is a structure constructed, adjusted, dismantled, and rebuilt as needed. A tool, not a truth. They do not submit to the rules. They write them, then grant exemptions where convenience demands. Power is not evil. It is indifferent. It flows to the cunning, the disciplined, the unburdened by sentiment. It resists the righteous and rewards those who understand its rhythm, who know that the game is not played on moral grounds but strategic ones. And those who hesitate, waiting for the world to be fair, become the scaffolding upon which the ambitious climb. Loyalty is praised, but rarely practiced. It is a currency, exchanged only while profitable. Those who preach loyalty loudest are often those closest to betrayal. The wise ruler does not expect fidelity. He rewards it when it serves his ends, and punishes defection only when it threatens his throne. To rule is to manage the calculus of allegiance, to see not who claims to serve, but who fears the price of treason. Fear, yes, the most stable bond between leader and subject. Love is soft, a flame that flickers with wind and time. But fear roots itself in the marrow. It commands obedience not through admiration, but through consequence. The modern prince must learn this, that in the absence of genuine fear, all respect is ornamental. Ambition has no moral direction. It is fire. It burns upward, consuming everything in its path. Those who wield it without understanding are incinerated. But those who master it, who understand when to kindle, when to conceal, when to let it blaze, and when to let it smolder, they shape empires. They turn human longing into motion, human vanity into machinery. Do not look to the crowd for truth. They are a theater of impulses, easily moved, easily deceived. They seek spectacle, not substance. Appear strong, they will believe it. Appear just, they will cheer. And when the curtain falls, they will forget what was real and what was staged. The ruler must be actor and architect, crafting both the scene and the scaffolding behind it. Betrayal is not anomaly. It is infrastructure. Every regime, every alliance, every partnership carries within it the seed of betrayal. The wise do not flinch when it comes. They expect it, plan for it, use it. To survive, one must betray at the moment when it serves, and punish betrayal when it disrupts. There is no shame in disloyalty, only failure in timing. Human nature is not good. It is adaptable, opportunistic, shaped more by pressure than principle. The ruler who hopes to govern by appealing to man's better angels will find himself trampled by devils. Better to understand what men fear, what they envy, what they hunger for, and bend those impulses toward your ends. Ideals are useful, but only when they are weapons. Use them to mobilize, to inspire, to distract. Never confuse them with reality. A leader who believes his own slogans is already defeated. Belief is for the governed. The governor must operate in the terrain beneath belief, where calculation lives, where the truth is cold and clear. Compassion can be shown but strategically, as theater, as timing, never as weakness. A single act of mercy may secure a decade of loyalty, but unchecked, it invites chaos. Rule with enough severity that kindness is a surprise, not a right. Then, when you show it, it will feel like a gift from Olympus. Control is never absolute, but it can be sufficient. Total power is a myth. The art lies in making people feel controlled, even when they are free to move. Give them the illusion of choice, the appearance of agency. Let them speak, let them vote, let them dream, but shape the boundaries of what they can touch. This is modern dominion, not brute force, but soft architecture. A prince must appear virtuous, even if he is not. for men judge more by their eyes than by their hearts. It is enough to seem just and strong, for the people desire a ruler who gives them hope and protection. They care not for the prince's soul, only for the security of their own fortunes. A single image can do what 1,000 truths cannot. The ruler speaks not to logic, but to fear, pride, hope, identity, to shape behavior, shape desire. Crisis is opportunity. Most fear it. The wise cultivate it. Disorder is the soil in which new order can be planted if one has the will to do what others cannot. Collapse offers cover for reinvention. In chaos, people look for clarity. Provide it and they will follow, not because they love you, but because you give their fear direction. Victory is not in conquest, it is in consolidation. Any man can win a throne with blood. Few can keep it with silence. Control is not in the taking, it is in the keeping. And to keep power, one must never grow comfortable. Threats are not destroyed, they are replaced. Power invites rivals. The higher you rise, the narrower the ground. Every step must be calculated. Every ally audited. The future belongs to those who understand that history is not a guide. It is a weapon. Shape it, and you shape memory. Control memory, and you control loyalty. The past is not fixed, it is edited by the victorious. Tell the story first, and you decide who was hero, who was traitor. Truth bends beneath the pressure of narrative. In politics, sincerity is weakness, unless it is used. Transparency is a myth. Every regime, every office, every movement cloaks its purpose. The intelligent leader knows when to speak plainly and when to speak smoke. Appear honest, be strategic. The words you say are not for truth, but for effect. The effect is the only truth that matters. Do not pursue consensus. It is the death of direction. Lead, decide, move. Consensus comes to those who command. It does not precede authority, it follows it. The people do not want endless dialogue. They want clarity, certainty, dominance dressed as protection. Give them the appearance of inclusion while making the decisions before they know they matter. To command is not simply to issue orders. It is to hold the will of others in your hands, to understand their fears before they speak, to anticipate their disloyalties before they form. Leadership is not charisma, it is anticipation. It is cold patience and hot decisiveness. It is knowing when to strike and when to wait in the shadows. The strong design, the game they do not play, the one handed to them. They shift the board, break the rules, rewrite the script mid-act, and when the crowd cheers, they bow not in reverence, but in control. The weak ask for fairness, the strong make reality. And if you would lead, not survive, not serve, but lead, then learn this. Comfort is poison, safety is illusion, popularity is wind. What remains is resolve. And the architecture of resolve is built not with sentiment, but with strategy. This is not cynicism, it is clarity. Clarity forged in exile, in loss, in confrontation with the unyielding face of the world. To lead is to see that face and never look away. You are not owed power, you take it. You are not given loyalty, you manage it. You are not guaranteed peace. You prepare for war, because in the end, history remembers not who was kind, but who won. And those who win write the rules the weak will call fair. A leader does not seek peace out of virtue, but out of timing. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the intermission between battles, a pause in which power rearranges itself. The mistake of the naive is to believe peace is an end. It is not. It is a condition to be shaped, leveraged, exploited. The wise ruler enters peace as one enters negotiation not to rest, but to recalibrate. The instruments of war are only ever temporarily silenced, never discarded. Beneath every alliance lies a ledger. Every handshake masks a calculation. Friendships in politics are rarely born of affection. They are born of necessity, and they die at the intersection of ambition and threat. The ruler who forgets this is undone not by his enemies, but by the friends he failed to anticipate. Trust no one entirely. Trust only in their fear, their interest, their hunger. These are reliable. People change their words. Their needs do not. Institutions are not safeguards. They are illusions of permanence. They exist because power permits them to. They stand only while they serve the interests of those who command. When they cease to serve, they are hollowed, repainted, or razed. The ruler must not mistake structure for strength. The state is not its buildings, its ceremonies, its laws. It is the will that animates them, the command that pulses beneath the marble. Remove that will, and the temple collapses like paper. To control perception is to control reality. The crowd does not see what is they see, what they are told to see, what they need to believe in order to sleep. Shape the narrative, and you shape the terms of rebellion. The most efficient tyranny is the one they do not know they live in. Give them enemies, and they will not question their chains. Give them pride, and they will police themselves. The prince who understands media understands war without swords. Men are not equal by nature. Some are born to command, others to obey. Yet it serves a prince to let the people believe they share in the common good. Praise their diligence and reward their obedience with small honors, so they feel valued. Thus, they remain content within the hierarchy and do not question the prince's supremacy. Let the poor argue over crumbs while you feast in silence. Let them chant freedom while walking boundaries they do not see. It is not oppression that lasts, it is illusion. Power is not maintained by justice, but by momentum. Once you rule, never slow, never rest on laurels. Pause, and others will move. The throne attracts predators, not pilgrims. Stability is not the absence of opposition, it is the capacity to crush it quickly. When a rival rises, destroy him completely. Half measures invite return. Mercy to the ambitious is cruelty to order. There is no virtue in allowing a snake to breathe. You must learn to live in mirrors, to inhabit reflections of yourself crafted for each audience. Be many things, but never unclear. Let your enemies see a tyrant. Let your allies see a savior. Let the public see a man like them, and the elite see a man above them. Be the fiction they need, and the force they fear. The self is a weapon. Shape it, multiply it, conceal the real one so deeply that even you forget where it lives. Revolutions do not succeed because the people are brave. They succeed because those in power grow soft. It is not passion that topples regimes, it is hesitation. The ruler who delays action for consensus, who weighs every response for approval, who forgets that legitimacy is a performance he prepares his own fall. The people do not need perfection. They need direction. Speak with certainty, and they will forgive error, waver, and they will tear you down with righteous hands. Cruelty, if it is to serve a prince, must be employed swiftly and sparingly, so that it terrifies but does not breed hatred. Strike decisively, not to create legends of terror, but to remove the seeds of rebellion. When the harm is done at once and not prolonged, it is more easily forgotten, and the people may return to their lives in quiet submission. A wise ruler tempers severity with mercy, showing just enough kindness to win loyalty, yet never so much as to invite contempt. Let them forget your hand, but never your power. Every populace hungers for meaning, especially in decline. When the nation weakens, when traditions rot and identities blur, they will seek someone to blame and someone to follow. Be that someone. Offer purpose, offer clarity, offer enemy. Those who master decay do not resist it, they ride it. National crises are ladders for those who know how to climb while others mourn. Build mythologies atop the ruins, and they will worship you for rebuilding what you destroyed. Freedom is not the natural state of man, order is. Freedom is chaos dressed in noble language. Most cannot bear the burden of true liberty. They want boundaries, rituals, icons, and control. They want someone else to take the blame. The ruler provides these things not by removing freedom, but by overwhelming it with comfort, spectacle, and security. Make them feel free while binding their will. A leash is easiest to wear when it glitters. Never reveal your whole plan. The opaque terrifies more than the obvious. A visible fist can be deflected. A hidden hand makes them see threats in every shadow. Ambiguity is a weapon. Use it to fracture alliances, to stir suspicion, to delay revolt. When they do not know your next move, they cannot act against it. Predictability is the diet of the mediocre. If you must be feared and unreadable. When dealing with rivals, never aim only to defeat, aim to erase. Leave no martyr, no symbol, no possibility of return. Burn not just the bridge, but the map to where it stood. Memory is a battlefield, and symbols are stronger than weapons. If your enemy becomes a symbol, you have failed. Mock him, dismantle him, forget him. Leave no monument for future rebels to kneel before. There is no justice in international affairs, only force and leverage. Treat treaties as temporary scaffolds. Diplomacy is a language of lies spoken in soft tones. Nations do not have friends, they have interests. Today's partner is tomorrow's adversary. Build ties, but build backup plans. Smile with one hand extended and the other ready to strike. The world stage is not a court, it is a casino, where the house always wins if it sets the rules. Expose weakness in others, never in yourself. Even when you bleed, deny it. Perception becomes reality. If they believe you are invulnerable, they will behave as though you are. If they see fear in your eyes, they will take courage from it. Rule is part substance, part theater, and the performance must never falter. Learn to suffer privately. Learn to mask fatigue with spectacle. Invisibility is strength. Every rising star dreams of replacing you. That is their nature. Cultivate them, flatter them, then set them against one another. Let them exhaust themselves in competition for your favor. Keep them close, but never let them unite. Disunity among the ambitious is your insurance. Unity is the beginning of conspiracy. Divide not just their power, divide their vision. Exile is not always loss. Sometimes it is apprenticeship. To be cast out is to be cleansed of illusion. In isolation, you see who stands with you and who remains silent. You learn what you are without the mask. And if you return sharper, colder, with memory carved into bone. The exile who survives becomes something harder than the ruler who never fell. He learns that power is not given, it is reclaimed. There is a language to silence, a message in every delay. A ruler does not respond to every slight he selects. His fury is rare, but complete. His silence is not absence, it is presence concealed. The more you speak, the more you expose. The more you react, the more you reveal. Control your expression, your timing, your wrath. Let others wonder what you think while you already decide their fate. Punishment is most effective when it is swift, public, and final. When you tolerate dissent, it grows roots. When you delay discipline, it breeds audacity. Mercy is remembered briefly. Fear is remembered forever. If you must strike, do so in a way that settles all doubts, not just in your enemy's mind, but in the minds of all who watch. The punishment must echo, not just in action, but in imagination. Let every potential traitor rehearse their downfall before they ever act. Control is not maintained by surveillance alone, but by the belief in surveillance. It is not the eyes you place on them, but the feeling that they are never unobserved. The moment people believe they are unseen, they become themselves. Your task is to ensure they never forget the possibility of your gaze. You do not need omniscience, only the impression of it. Fear of being seen is stronger than the act of being seen. In that fear, behavior is shaped. Every public gesture is a signal. Nothing is neutral. A hand laid on a shoulder, a pause in a speech. The order of names all communicate power, favor, disfavor, threat. Learn the grammar of gesture. Master the sentence structure of silence. Politics is not loud. It is composed in subtleties, in what is omitted, in what is delayed, in what is hinted and never confirmed. Speak with your hands, your face, your presence, and you will command without words. Bureaucracy, when weaponized, is the most effective form of control. It creates the appearance of neutrality while executing your will. The paper trail masks the iron hand. Let your decrees come wrapped in procedure. Let those you target drown in protocol. They will not know who attacked them, only that they have been immobilized. This is modern tyranny, invisible, impersonal, inevitable. Your enemies will always try to paint you as a monster. Let them. If they fear you more than they hate you, you have won. Monsters are respected. Monsters are obeyed. Saints are crucified. Never chase approval. Respect is born not from likability, but from inevitability. Let them believe you cannot be moved, cannot be shamed, cannot be stopped. Then they will stop trying. Language is not for truth. It is for command. Control the words, and you control the frame. Do not argue on their terms. Redefine the terms. Rename the crisis. Recast the role. The ruler who controls vocabulary controls the battlefield. Euphemism is not cowardice, it is strategy. With one phrase, you can justify a purge. With another, you can silence a movement. Change the name, and you change the consequence. The illusion of progress is more stabilizing than actual change. Give them reforms that decorate, not those that disrupt. Let them believe they are heard, as long as they remain managed. Offer them committees, hearings, symbols, not power. Let them spend their rage inside structures you have designed. The most effective way to dissolve rebellion is to absorb it. Power decays in the open. The more familiar they are with you, the less they fear you. Withdraw. Appear only when necessary. Speak only when it matters. The mystery of leadership is a kind of armor. The ruler who becomes too visible becomes too human. And when you are human, you can be questioned. And when questioned, you can be disobeyed. Cloak yourself in the inaccessible. Appear, then vanish. Let your presence become an event. Do not fear being hated. Fear being irrelevant. Hatred can be managed. It can be monitored. It can be redirected. But irrelevance is death. The moment you cease to shape the discourse, you have already been replaced. Ensure that they must speak your name in fear, in admiration, in rage. It does not matter. Silence about you must be impossible. Victory is not final. It is a platform for the next conflict. The moment you declare yourself safe, you invite enemies to test it. There is no end to vigilance. Rest is a lie you cannot afford. Celebrate nothing too loudly. Success must be treated as a step, not a summit. The throne is not a seat. It is a position constantly defended. The second you take comfort in it, it begins to disappear beneath you. Surround yourself with ambition, but keep it fractured. The court must always burn with desire, but not for you. Let them desire position, not your fall. Let them see you as the gate to their fortunes. Then they will protect you as they protect their own ascent. If they think they can rise without you, you have already become expendable. Your survival depends on being necessary to their greed. No system is self-sustaining. It survives through renewal, reinvention, or repression. When you inherit power, you inherit its rot. You must either cut away the decay or be consumed by it. Do not honor tradition for its age. Question it, dissect it. Preserve only what strengthens your rule. The rest is weight. Burn it. Those who serve symbols more than strategy become caretakers of decline. The people want to believe. They want spectacle, certainty, myth. Give them heroes. Give them enemies. Give them victories, even if staged. Reality is less important than rhythm. Let their emotions move in the cadence you set. When they cheer, they obey. When they mourn, they remember. When they fear, they listen. Shape not just their thoughts, shape their emotional weather. Every lie must contain a grain of truth. Lies without roots fall apart. Ground them in facts, then bend those facts into architecture. Deny nothing, directly reframe it. Redirect. Let them question everything except the foundation. The most effective falsehood is the one that feels like it could be true. The rest is detail. In the end, all regimes fall, but some endure long enough to shape the ruins. Your goal is not immortality. It is influence beyond your presence. To die and still command, to fall and leave no replacement, to disappear and have the echo of your will Continue to direct the stage. That is the true victory, not permanence, but aftershock. And as you move through this architecture of consequence, this machinery of control, deception, loyalty, fear, remember, it is not power itself that is evil. It is indifference to its weight that corrupts. To rule well is not to be kind, but to be precise, to understand the cost of every decision, and to bear it without flinching. The ruler who hesitates out of conscience soon finds himself ruled by those without one. So if you would lead, if you would endure, you must accept this. You will be misunderstood, you will be hated, you will be accused, feared, betrayed. But if you shape the game itself, you will never be removed from it. They will march, they will speak, they will vote, and all of it will happen inside a world you built. That is the final lesson of power. The weak demand fairness, the powerful design the game, and the ones who survive are those who never confuse the two. But even the game's designer must one day face silence, not defeat silence. The moment after the last decree, when the theater empties and the echo of command fades into dust, you will stand alone then, no applause, no counsel, no enemy left to sharpen you, and in that silence, you must confront what remains when power is no longer the mask, but the mirror. Did you shape history, or did you merely delay the chaos? Did you command, or did you become prisoner to the role? Were you the architect, or just the last to fall? Understand this. Legacy is not made by those who are loved, but by those who are remembered not for their goodness, but for their impact. History does not ask whether you were fair. It asks whether you mattered, whether you bent the arc, broke the mold, rearranged the terms of existence so completely that even your enemies were forced to speak your name with clenched teeth. So play the long game, endure the slander, endure the exile, endure the loneliness of clarity. Let them curse your name in the streets and build their world on the bones of your design, for that is power. That is victory, not to be loved, not to be right, but to be unavoidable. And as the world cries out again for fairness, you will know the deeper truth that behind every stage, every slogan, every illusion of justice stands a silent figure who once designed the game.